Bit by Bit Leadership Conversation Series. I am very lucky this week to be in Palo Alto at HP for HP Imagine and have Alex Cho with me to have a conversation about AI PCs. And you and I talk fairly regularly. And I have to say that the amount of excitement there has been in the PC market for the past 2 years has been probably the most I've seen in a positive way since my career started a long time ago. What I love about your approach to AI PC is your pragmatism in the way of really wanting to deliver value to the user and thinking about it in a marathon, you told me once, not a sprint. This is innovation that is going to come over time that we need to bring both ITDM and consumers along. Because from where I'm sitting today, consumers are still unclear as to where the value proposition is, and ITDMs are a little bit worried about jumping on the bandwagon too early. So when you're thinking about the AI PC and your portfolio, I'm sure you're thinking about AI and how that is changing the relationship with the PC.
Yes, and what we think is so important is this is not a speeds and feeds addition. And fundamentally, this is about enabling people to do new things. And I think that's such an important frame of reference because that means that we are designing and thinking about how do people work throughout the day. You heard us talk about a freelancer. We've talked about product managers. What do they do throughout the day? And then how can AI running on the device help we call it the day in the life of a product manager, the day in the life of a freelancer. That means we're very much paying attention to what they do, how can AI enable that, and how do we bring that to them in a way that's meaningful for them.
And you're thinking a lot about experience. You said it's not about the speeds and feeds, right? It's about the experience that you deliver to your customers, whether it is a consumer, a gamer, or a data analyst that is becoming a very sought after profession lately. How does that make you think differently about design and portfolio?
It's a very important shift because we talked about it more broadly, and that is this industry has in general been more horizontal. It is one design fits them all. But increasingly, we're focusing a lot more as a company on customers and experiences. AI is going to be very unique for different types of job types, personas, use cases, segments. That gives us an opportunity to build solutions. And by a solution, it could either be a PC or the PC plus a peripheral plus the services that's catering to that. Data scientists are a great example. We shared what we're doing with workstations in AI Studio. Gaming is another example. It's an AI-driven gaming PC with HyperX peripherals and Omen software. So increasingly, it's really designing a solution experience so it's more meaningful for them. And AI is just a perfect catalyst for that.
I love how you bring together different devices. It's not just about the PC by itself. And obviously, from an HP perspective, you're very fortunate to have the Poly acquisition and everything that comes with that. How do you think, because in my opinion, there's a lot of opportunity to bring what is always been seen as a bit of an island, which is the meeting, right? I go to a meeting, I have my meeting, I'm going to go away. How are you thinking about AI bringing that meeting moment more part of the workflow?
Yeah, that is our strategy. I mean, you just articulated from the outside, our strategy is thinking about work, the day in the life of work. And guess what? Life and work today has integrated into it Zoom meetings, team meetings, Meets meetings. So it needs to be integrated in. And that's the logic of bringing Poly into the company. And that is designing work solutions. And for us, that means designing better video solutions. Yes. So all of our Poly introductions have AI so that you have a better AI experience. But we're taking some of the key audio and video technologies from a Poly system and we're putting them in a PC. Because often you're using the PC itself for a video meeting. And so we think that's an added part of how we get a more consistent experience. And then the last thing is, if you're an employee, yes, you have a PC. Yes, you'll go to your room. Yes, you'll go print. Having our workforce services enable an IT manager to manage and monitor and fix and optimize all of them allows us to think about the employee. So again, we do a lot of devices, but our focus is on the employee and everything that she or he does throughout the day. Meeting rooms, PCs, monitors, printers, all of that fits in there.
I like that that's how you started this morning, where you said it all starts with the employee, because it should be that way. But I think oftentimes, from an organizational perspective, we forget that and we worry more about the productivity without thinking about the person that actually delivers that productivity.
Yep.
Two things. One, what are you most excited about when it comes to AI? And the second, what are you most worried about?
I'm excited about many things. You know, yeah, there's many things, but one of the things that is really unique about AI, especially as we project into the future, is it will be very multimodal. That's kind of the big top word, but what that means is that it doesn't just optimize things that are in written text. It's able to ingest, manage video, audio, as well as data in zeros and ones. And the beauty of that, it changes the nature by which we can interact with our devices. My dream, actually, I remember, I just think about this. I remember the first time I saw a robot on TV and I thought, wow, you can speak to that thing in response to you. And we're not very far from a class of next generation devices that are far more natural in how you engage with it. It's more intuitive. It's more personal to you. I love that. I love that space. And literally, we are just at the beginning of all of that. That's why it's going to be a great decade of innovation. What am I concerned about?
Yeah.
Anything that relates to AI means data, and anything that relates to data and now models means that those are very sensitive properties. And so the ability to secure it, protect it, make sure it's also private to the user or to the company, that becomes a whole new domain of risk. It's also the reason why all of our investment in security, we are finding we better continue and only expand on it because, again, AI means more data, more things to protect, and we want to make sure that for the end user or for the company, that's protected.
Well, you certainly are in a good place with that. So I'm going to end putting you on the spot because I know that you're usually a good game for it. When I, and you touched on it this morning in the presentation, when I think about AI PCs and Copilot Plus PCs, obviously from a PC ecosystem, there's so many players and there's never been more choice than there is today, even from a silicon perspective. But I feel at times that the messages then get a little bit complicated because everybody's trying to bring water to their own game. One thing that you are willing to do to help really have a cohesive message so that ITDMs don't have to wait and consumer can understand the value. And one thing that you would ask your competitors to do to help with that.
I think it's a really important call to action, so to speak, for the industry because this is a new category. It's not like just the next thing is a new category. My request of the ecosystem is that we, yes, continue to innovate, but I think there is a huge need for educating.
Yeah.
There's a huge need for clarifying. There's a huge need for showcasing what AI can do. And I think the more that we do that as a collective industry, we're all the better for it because confusion is not what we want. We want clarity. And with clarity comes people's ability to feel confident to make investments and to try these. Yes, things are changing a lot though. So things are rapidly iterating. So that means that we as an ecosystem must stay in touch, must stay synchronized, and continue to evolve how we do that. But I think educating, communicating, being open to recognizing that collectively our goal is to raise the water level of understanding in some level of consistency, that would be great.
And what are you willing to do?
So you're going to see us continue to showcase the ISVs out there that are catalyzing this industry. That's why we are bringing together, we did today, we brought together ISVs to show what an AI PC could do. That's why we're doing that in New York a few months ago, to show what an AI PC to do. We are spending a lot of time. This is not for HP only, it's really for the entire ecosystem. What can these new devices do for people? And we think that raises the water level for everybody out there, our silicon partners, Microsoft, our competitors, for everybody. It really helps everybody.
I agree. I also think that you should take credit for the work relationship index, because that is part of education, right? Going out and really starting to understand how people are thinking about AI, how they want to work going forward. So you tick that box of
Great.
education already.
Take that. Even with our channel partners, we launched an AI masterclass for our partners out there, because again, this is another thing. This is not just for us to do.
Right.
This is for the industry to do. Our partners are a core part of that, and that's why we rolled out, as a part of our Amplify program, the AI masterclass. That's about educating and also equipping them to talk to their customers, to understand terminology. It's not just about us, it's about the whole domain, and so you'll see us continue to do that.
It's a dominoes effect that is going to amplify the more you cascade down to
Yes.
every player. Thank you so much for
You're
the
welcome.
time today. I really appreciate it.
Great to be here.